come to the microphone and state whether you live in the city limits, and you'll have 3 minutes. First is Paul Cowles.
Yes, I live in the city limits. I'm here to address you on a few topics. Number one, I'm here to request for the second time that we have new leadership by replacing the city attorney and the city manager. You guys have been running kind of in a dysfunction, and it's up to these folks to get you guys to pull together, and they haven't been able to do that yet. Okay, that's number one. Number two, you are disrespecting the people that elected the minority section of council. They were elected by the majority just like you. And unfortunately, your arrogance is palpable. And the thing is, you've got two excellent council people here. One of them you've tried to censor. Unfortunately, they tried to do that to me in Bothell. And the thing is, you're just plain jealous because she has better constituent relationships than the rest of the five of you put together. Okay, going on into other things. I understand there's some fiscal issues here that need to be cleaned up, and you better get that done because basically that's what your reputation is running on. Two, the next thing is, it is foolhardy for you to try to put an initiative before the people about moving the park and ride to a different location. Be careful of what you wish for. That if they were to replace that, they could not replace it at the same cost on a different piece of property. That's an asset, and the ancillary sales from the people that are using that are very, very important to the city as far as paying taxes. You guys need to work together. This is the third time I've come to you to talk to Matt. You have a great opportunity, and you have a great staff, and you need to have the cooperation of the people that are elected to it, to office. So please do your best, but get together and pull together. One thing I learned, I was glad I was on a minority to start with. You have some compassion to what is happening here. You guys don't. Sorry.
Thank you. Shengquan Liang.
Thank you. My name is Shengquan Liang, and I live within the Woodinville city limits. And I came here to speak about a matter of utmost gravity. I've been living in the city for 14 years and plus, and this is about this alleged ethics complaint against Councilmember Mike Millman. And this is the evidence of accepting gifts, granting special privileges, and exploiting public office is a direct violation of the principles of our democracy and our public trust in this fine council. I hereby call for an independent investigation by a team that is not affiliated with the city of Woodinville to thoroughly investigate and impartially examine those allegations. Additionally, I urge the council to recuse Councilmember Millman from any discussions or any decisions involving the parties that are implicated in these violations to avoid any further conflicts of interest. On top of that, I think the city's handling of the public record request could use some makeup or reform. The delays and constant obfuscation in providing this timely information to the public, in my opinion, are unacceptable. I urge this council to implement a more prompt and a more transparent process for the public to obtain public information through the public request process. Urge the city to have a process to promptly respond to such requests, and ensuring there's accountability and reinforce citizens' trust in their government. I talk about this because this is not just a procedural matter. It is all about safeguarding the integrity of the Council and the democratic values we all hold dear to our heart. We must act decisively to restore faith in our governance. Anything less would be a disservice to the people of Woodinville. Thank you for your time and consideration.
Thank you. That concludes our business items. On to public comments. Okay, public comment period. Again, when you announce your name, come to the microphone, announce your name. You have 3 minutes, and state whether you live in the city limits. First is Jeff Lyon.
I'm Jeff Lyon. I live in city limits. This is a statement that I prepared for the public hearing, but I was not allowed to speak. So I'll go ahead and make that comment at this time. With regard to the ethics charges against Mayor Millman, the hearing examiner erred in their determination that he did not commit violations of Revised Code of Washington or Woodinville Municipal Code. First, only witnesses called in the examiner's investigation were the mayor's spouse, who is inherently biased, and an executive, Santo Saint Michel, who is not only biased, but could be considered an accessory in a criminal trial. Summarizing hours of testimony, their argument was basically, the mayor is a great guy, according to his friends and family. He was already against the transfer center. He didn't consume complimentary food or beverage at the VIP reception. The VIP reception is a cheaper version of the VRC reception to get around PDC reporting requirements. There are other officials who also attended these events, so it should be okay for the mayor. This is immaterial. Mayor Millman's own testimony and statements to the PDC are evidence that he violated state and municipal law. RCW 4223070, Section 2. No municipal officer may directly or indirectly give or receive or agree to receive any compensation, gift, reward, or gratuity. Fact, on February 16, 2024, Mayor Millman submitted an amendment to his 2022 F1 statement disclosing a gift of $150. This isn't about the transfer center. The mayor was later approached by Sycamore Partners, the owner of Santo Saint Michel, asking for an amendment to the city's comprehensive plan in support of a lucrative development proposal. WMC 236020, Section 2.
Which I voted against. I did not support that.
Point of order, please don't interrupt the
No,
speaker.
I have by
Please
rules.
don't interrupt the speaker.
Council member, by rules, I have the right to set the record straight. I did not support that motion.
Not during public comment.
That's not correct.
Sir, may I continue?
Yes.
Thank you. WMC 236020, Section 2, accepts or seeks for others any service, information, or thing of value on more favorable terms than those granted to the public. Fact, Mayor Millman purchased tickets to a concert that were not available to the general public because they were sold out. As an ordinary resident, I could not call Chateau Saint Michel and ask for a held-back block of tickets. Given these facts, I urge you to put the law over your politics and vote to convict Mayor Millman. Thank you.
Allison Farmer.
Hi, Alison Farmer, resident outside the city limits. This was a 5-minute comment too, but I wasn't allowed to say it, so excuse me if it's a bit edited. I'm not sure that the mayor steeping so low to show those videos in his defense shows any ethical or decorum, and it's disgusting for us, an actions of the mayor to do. I started fighting for social justice and democracy in this council when I witnessed the mayor engage in deceptive and intimidating speech to a very worried room full of minority community. He disregarded the Planning Commission's recommendation, heritage vote, and went against the wishes of the impacted community to push an Old Town Code amendment through to an unnecessary public hearing. He then chose to disregard the valid concerns of larger community represented at the public hearing. Information about the meeting was suppressed and the story narrative manipulated in the media. I think he's doing that again. This behaviour has caused a significant loss of trust within the community, and it's deeply concerning that the mayor appeared to approach the situation as a game to be won, orchestrating a predetermined argument and vote with other council members. These were individuals' livelihoods at stake, and I would expect a mayor to handle this matter with greater respect and empathy. Then, when the Planning Commission sent back the Main Street Town DA for revision due to significant errors, Main Street withdrew and the mayor promptly and unfairly initiated a motion to diminish the level of involvement the Planning Commission has over future development agreements. This action is highly disrespectful of dedicated resident volunteers who actively participate in affairs and come prepared to meetings. I firmly believe that such a move would jeopardise the integrity of future development agreements and restrict public comment. This pattern behaviour reflects a concerning trend of injustice and perversive democracy in action. The Plan Commission acted lawfully, and no one ever has requested a limitation on what they can discuss in the past. There's also recent emails that clearly demonstrate Tyler Freeman, who fought to make Mulbat's landmark, was misled by the mayor, city manager, or both. This prevented the completed nomination being filed before Green Partners obtained a demolition permit for the buildings. Under the mayor's watch, the Landmark Commission was undermined and disrespected, and deception used to grant Green Partners undue favours. There seems to be a concerning lack of transparency and deals being made behind closed doors. Developers' interests always priority the city's and residents' needs, and public comments only seem welcome if they align with the mayor's agenda. The mayor clearly accepted a gift and a favour from Chateau Saint Michel, and you have just proved tonight that a worrying pattern of unethical behaviour is systemic in this council, and democracy and integrity is dead.
Rich McKee.
Hi, Rich McKee, local business, and also I do live on Hollywood Hill, so I'm just outside of city limits. I'm here today on behalf of the Woodinville Car Club, as well as on behalf of community members of Woodinville and surrounding communities. In the past, we've had conversations about the Christmas Light Parade and Festival that we started 8 years ago. Since then, obviously, we've run into some issues about funding for traffic control, as well as closing the roads. Yes, last year we had a fairly successful event that has now turned this into what is recognized as the second largest event in the city of Woodinville, beyond Woodinville, Celebrate Woodinville. So considering how much this event has grown, obviously the community is asking for it. And as much as you all have to put up with a lot of negativity in the community about so many things that have to happen, such as growth and a number of other things, our community is also looking for things that they can enjoy, things that they can smile about. Clearly, our community has shown that this is one of those major things that they want, and they want to see continue. Unfortunately, we cannot continue the parade and or festival if we cannot get the funding or get the support from the city that we need. So my ask is that we are able to somehow, at some point, continue these conversations so that in 2025 and years moving forward, we can find a way to work together with the community, with the club, and the city to make this work. Thanks for your time.
Mr. McKee, the car parade is going on this year. Can you tell us when and where?
So
what time?
we are moving forward with it this year. We've got a lot of, I just found out just a number of months ago that it would have cost us $25,000 between Public Works Department and the officers, and so there's no way it's a free event for the community. So there's no money raised. So we are still moving forward with it though, and it's on Sunday, December 15th, 6:00 p.m. So it'll be the parade and festival, but it will have its limitations to how we can go about the event, so we can still keep it safe for the community.
Thank you. Looking forward to it.
Thank you.
Gary Harris.
My name is Gary Harris. I live within the Woodinville city limits. And first of all, I am extremely disgusted at the behavior of the council majority during the ethics hearing. As you have seen, there are several people here that, myself included, that wish to speak and were not granted the right to speak. So I had about 5 minutes of stuff prepared, but I will cut it down so that I don't go over. So RCW, this was mentioned, RCW 42.23.070 subsection 2. No municipal officer may directly or indirectly give or receive or agree to receive any compensation, gift, reward, or gratuity, underlined, from a source except the employing municipality. So the argument that Mr. Millman's attorney made is null and void. You are guilty because you accepted that. It doesn't matter whether San Michelle started it, requested it, or you requested it. You received it. Guilty. End of discussion. And having Council Member Bess Campbell not be on the dais during that time, Councilmember Evans should also not have been there because she was unable to have a fairness, meet the fairness requirement because she was also guilty of accepting $300 in gifts. So she shouldn't have been there either. And well, okay, it was mentioned $10,000 for the cost of this hearing. Okay, so I want to know, compare that to what is the cost of the 67% raise that the council majority voted yourselves per year, and the increase. I am speaking, you are listening.
That is not correct. We did
I have 3 minutes.
We did not vote
This
ourselves.
is public comments. I have 3 minutes.
I am allowed to correct the record. We did not vote ourselves a pay raise.
You tricked, or you pulled a fast one.
That is not
by
true.
appointing a committee that you knew would give you a raise.
Not true.
End of discussion. Please be quiet. I am talking. You are listening. Got it? Okay, so let's compare the costs of those things. And the lawsuit that you referred to by a planning commission, former planning commission member, he was the aggressor. He threatened the person who was mayor before me. He threatened me on 2 occasions. I thought that he was going to leap over the dais and attack me. And I quit listening to what he was saying because I was concerned that he was going to leap over the dais, at which point I was going to take his head and smash it against the top of the dais.
But that doesn't surprise me. Your time is up, Mr. Harris.
And you interrupted me. I have a few more seconds.
I interrupted you for 30
capital
seconds.
projects.
Your time is up.
Car chargers, which benefit you only.
Mr. Harris,
sidewalks
your time
in
is up.
neighborhoods that benefit only one council
excused.
member.
Your time is up, Mr. Harris. You're not
good night.
showing a lack of decorum. Please sit down. Alex Campbell.
Well, Alex Campbell, I live in the city limits. I don't have to talk about the public hearing because I got to speak. I was the only person who wasn't a co-conspirator who got to speak. And in fact, Mike Millman got 3 times as much representation during that public hearing. I do want to correct one thing. Mayor Harris, former mayor, but he was a mayor, so he knows the job, and he knows not to interrupt public commenters. He misspoke. It's not Councilmember Evans. She did not at least file a PDC about accepting gifts. She might still have. It was Councilmember Arndt. She filed saying she accepted a gift from a recycling company to go to a chamber event. Interesting. Okay, my topic tonight is about the problems we've seen with democracy. Democracy does need an open and honest representation. Washington citizens, knowing this in the early 1970s, in the shadow of Watergate, passed a series of citizen initiatives. They created the Open Public Meetings Act, they created the Public Records Act, they created the PDC, the Public Disclosure Commission. All of these things were intended to give people a view into the opaque nature of any large organization. Governments are large, governments may not want to always share, so these are ways to say, you people own the government, this is our democracy, therefore they're allowed to know what goes on. Journalists and the public have frequently used these and frequently had to defend them against government trying to shut them down. What we are seeing is a worrying pattern here. Woodinville has continually slowed its response rate, especially for specific people and specific targets. Woodinville has made extra efforts to send back their questions to clarify something on a Friday afternoon, knowing full well that the response will not get resolved until the next week. I don't blame the city staff, well, maybe the city attorney. I blame the city council and their enablement of the city manager to push this forward. I also blame you tonight. How dare you talk about and try to shame the public for speaking up and asking for information? We own the government, it's part of us. We're allowed to ask questions. Nothing that was done was illegal. Just switching gears slightly, the complaint I filed included the entire public records request for the hearing examiner.
No, it did
So
not.
multiple lies were told tonight, including that
Shut
Mr.
up.
Millman
Yes,
proceeded.
please stop interrupting the public. Yes, shut up. Censure me because you're going to do it again. Stop interrupting the public so that they can speak their minds. We work for them.
Wow.
Yes, wow yourself.
I would like to point to
I
council
would
member.
like to point to you continuing to interrupt my public comment. This is not your time to speak.
Your wife was
This is
speaking.
not,
Your wife
don't
was speaking
start
as well.
arguing. Everybody will tell you that's a bad style.
Council-
Everyone will tell you
Councilmember
that that is a
Campbell
really
was
bad,
telling me to shut
it
up
is
at
a
the point.
really bad idea to do this. You're giving yourself terrible look here. So just sit down and say thank you at the end.
I'm sitting down.
Every mayor before you knew to do that.
We have a council rule. I'm going to reiterate again that I am allowed by council rule to correct the record.
I'm allowed
is a council
by
rule.
by the First Amendment to say whatever I want
did not
that's
stop
true.
you. Did not
And
stop
even
you.
that's things that are not true, I can say because they're my opinion. But I'm going to tell you it's true. You tonight lied. You said that you never bought wine. In the hearing with the hearing examiner, under oath, you said you bought wine. Which was the lie? I have the transcript, I have the recording. There's many other ones like that, where you say one thing one place, another. You like to say whatever's easy for you.
Okay, you've had sufficient time. I disagree with you. So did this hearing examiner. Thank you for your commentary.
And that's the way to handle it.